All right, we're going to continue on with 10.6 now on our second video here. So now that we've learned how to graph these, we now want to convert between the two forms. So this is a polar equation, and I want it to be in rectangular form. So if you think back to our polar equations, remember that r is equal to the square root of x squared plus y squared. Okay, that was a formula I asked you to memorize. Yes, you have to memorize it again. We also learned that x is equal to r cosine. Yes, you have to remember that again. And y is equal to r sine theta. Okay, so these are the three formulas we're going to be using to convert these problems. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we want to say, let's get rid of this fraction. So let's multiply by 1 plus cosine on each side so that we can get rid of this fraction. Okay, so now distribute. R times 1 gives us r times cosine gives us r cosine. And then on the right hand side, all I have left is 4. Okay, so now that I've gotten rid of the fraction, let's go ahead and do some of our simplification. So, like I said up here, r is equal to the square root of x squared plus y squared. So I'm going to replace r with the square root of x squared plus y squared. Plus, we also said that r cosine theta was equal to x. So I can replace this whole thing with the letter x. All right, we're getting there. So now at least I got rid of all the r's and I got rid of all of the cosines and thetas. Now we need to simplify this to look like our general form that we've been dealing with all along. So in order to do that, the first thing we're going to do is let's move this x to the other side. So we have the square root of x squared plus y squared is equal to 4 minus x. Now if you think back to algebra, I want to get rid of this square root. So I'm going to square each side so that the square and the square root can cancel, which means I also have to square this side. So that gives me x squared plus y squared equals, now if you say this is 16 plus x squared, I'm going to be really mad at you. 4 minus x squared means 4 minus x times 4 minus x. So distribute. 4 times 4, 16. 4 times negative x times 4, that gives us negative 8x. Negative x times negative x is positive x squared. Make sure you double distribute here and don't just do 16 plus x squared. Okay, now let's get everything to one side and have it equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract the x squared. Oh look, it cancels out. Add the 8x and subtract the 16. So I end up with y squared plus 8x minus 16 equals 0. This is how we're going to leave our answers. Once we get it equal to 0, we're done. Okay, let's do the same thing on B. So on B, if we look, this step was kind of already done for us. We already don't have the fraction, so our first step here is to just distribute. So r times 1 gives us r times negative 6 sine would be negative 6r sine equals 9. Now let's do some replacing. We're going to replace r with the square root of x squared plus y squared. We're going to replace r sine theta with r sine theta as y, so minus 6y. Okay, I would encourage you to pause and try the video from here, right? Try the problem, unpause, check your answer. You don't have to, but that's what I'm encouraging you to try to do. Okay, next step, move your 6y over. Square each side. Remember, we have to double distribute here. 81 plus 6 times 9 is 54. So plus 54y plus 54y plus 36y squared. This gives us 108y. Subtract all of these to the other side. So we end up with x squared. When we subtract the 36, we end up with negative 35y squared. Subtract the 108y. Subtract the 81. Nothing was left on the right-hand side, just 0. And we're done. Woo. All right, last problem in 10.6. So this problem, we want to find the polar equation. Okay, so we want to find the polar equation that has an E value of 1, a focus at the pole, a directrix parallel to the polar axis 9 units, so that means P is 9, above the pole. So we're going to go to our little sheet here and we're going to look for where is a parallel and above. So if I look at my sheet, I'm looking for parallel and above. So parallel and above means my equation is EP over 1 plus E sine. So I'm going to copy that down. EP over 1 plus E sine. Well, now let's just replace our E and P. E we said was 1, P we said was 9, E we said was 1. So that gives us R equals 9 times 1. 1 plus 1 times sine would just be sine. Dunzos.